All right, and we've started. All right, Jith, what does the treasury look like today?
It's up across the board.
So we're at 631,000 in the DAO treasury and 49,000 in the ecosystem fund.
Atlas is up, so that helped.
That does help, yeah. Okay. Pip tracker. We don't have any new pips that have released since our last week, have we? Although Atom and Relay program is about to go.
Yep, 24 hours.
Yep.
Wednesday, I think. At least Wednesday for those of us this side of the on the Atlantic.
Yeah. Okay. Accomplishments. What have been our accomplishments since March 9th?
I filled in that slide. I'm on mobile driving back home from a meeting, but I did fill in, I can't remember what slide number it is, but we only really had the one accomplishment since last week, I believe.
I'm willing to
The
bet it's
two
the
passed and the
one
two went up.
that's it's in the random middle of the PowerPoint that says March 2026.
Yeah,
All right. All right. Atom and Star Atlas Relay Pip up for vote. 1 day approved by team on the 13th.
yep. I
I
tried to
assume
put the
that
dates
means that it
in
was
there for you.
approved within 1 day.
It was approved on whatever date I put on there, and then they put it up on the website.
All right. So we have one is Atom Cloud Infrastructure Sustainment. And the second one is
Our Atlas Relay.
Relay Program Pilot.
Jet helped us work through the logistics of the final wording to get those up and going. So
I mean, it was necessary.
Thank you,
yeah,
Jith.
for sure.
No problem. It was basic. It was hard because a lot of those decisions were being made as the Atom team was writing the PIP. So we couldn't really give them clear direction, and making them wait another week to do it themselves was just ridiculous of them.
Gotcha. Okay. So there you go. These two are about to go into vote in 22 hours. So it should be from the 18th to the 1st
Yeah.
of April. All right.
That's the only accomplishments that I had. I don't know if anyone else has any, but
Anyone else have any other accomplishments?
Not that I think of. I think the Star Shooter tournament is ongoing, but there's still one more round. We'll have to pay out the funding for that when it's done, but I think that's going to be in a few weeks from now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The Super Phoenix Sports will need to submit a application for the Iris Bounty Arena application that was approved. They'll need to submit that reimbursement. Okay. And what else? So we got the foundation to approve the PIPs. Were there any other accomplishments?
technically the two votings finished and passed. But no, that was last week. Never mind.
Yeah. I had those PIP
Sorry.
2728 voting ended last week.
Yep. That's the only things I can think of. So
All right. Now for the agenda, looks like you have a number of things Emperor.
Yeah, I just threw a bunch of stuff on there.
I'm gonna port it right in, and we'll go through it one by one.
Sounds good. And I'm driving, so you'll have to.
Yeah, no problem. I got you. All right, the first thing was change cap on Atom to current ecosystem fund limit. Do we need further clarification?
Yeah, we set a precedent. We clarified with swags what going forward that stuff is going to be. I didn't know if we talked about it pretty much. I think we're on the same page from last week, but I just wanted to touch base with the council and see if we needed to clarify or set in stone anything going forward. So we decided with the direction of swags that we're setting a cap at, like with the Atom pip, they requested 2,200 USDC, but the max they can receive is the 13 million and change. So that's kind of a set in stone thing now. I just wanted to make sure everyone was aware and that we're all on the same page. I don't know if
The
we have to
current
talk about
5%
it
limit,
anymore.
right? Of 13 million
Correct.
Atlas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about it pretty in depth at the last meeting, but is that what we're solidifying? I think it is, but
I have zero objections.
I agree.
okay. And I think the only real point of clarification was it's the 5% of the ecosystem fund at the time XYZ. To me, it's when the draft is finalized. So like we're going to do an ecosystem fund refresh in probably 2 weeks because it's quarterly. So this is March. So like April 1st, and you can look this up if you want, Lancer. I don't remember the exact dates that we put in your refresh of when that ecosystem update is. It's splitting hairs a little bit, but if somebody puts in a draft like today, and then we do an ecosystem refresh in 2 weeks on the 1st of next month, what is the date that ecosystem fund 5% is calculated?
I'm
I think
showing
that's
March
kind of
31st, June 20th, September 30th, and December 31st. So
right.
what was
So if
the
somebody
decision?
applies today, I don't know. That's what we kind of need to clarify. If somebody put in a request today, I guess PG is coming up. His draft is the 5% today, but when it goes to vote or when it goes to the foundation, that could be 2 weeks from now. And like, what is that cutoff date for the 5%?
I thought the cutoff date that we had discussed was when it goes to the foundation. Is that no
Right.
longer true?
It that's where I'm at with it, but we need to kind of put it in our notes, like
Okay.
That's
like
what
this
PGs
PG
is
that
that. The catch with
Jith,
PGs is that it's likely going to go to the foundation around the time that we do the recalculation.
right. So is it 13 million and change, or if we do that recalculation in 2 weeks, where's the cutoff? What is it? I think we just need to clarify.
well, if we decide right now, my understanding was if he does it in 2 weeks and we do the ecosystem fund in 2 weeks, that new limit would apply. Because it took that long for the PIP to become like a solidified real PIP that the foundation would
Right.
need to vote on. That's my
So to
viewpoint. But
me,
what does
it's
everyone else think?
yeah,
What angle?
because
Sorry, no, I was under the same understanding that you just
Okay.
said.
All right, Winston.
Yep, all good for me. The new limit, yeah.
Okay.
Should be
Jess,
fine.
do you object?
No, the question is, like, there is the possibility that we could push for him to get it to the foundation within the either this week or next week, lock it into the current amount.
Okay. Wait, could you
So
explain what you mean by that?
the pips, the PIP says that it doesn't change till the 31st. PG's draft is at the stage where it's almost ready, but not just quite there yet. So if we can get it done within the next week and a half, it's set at the current level.
Yeah. So when it goes to, if it were to wait or extend to Q2, and it went from 13.1 million to 15 million, the 15 million would apply versus the 13.1. Are we agreed on that?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Cool.
It's when it goes to the foundation in my mind.
Yeah. I think that's what we're all saying right now. So I'm writing that out now
Correct.
so that we can rely on this in the future.
Perfect. That's what I wanted with that agenda item.
Okay. All right. I have so made it known and it is written. There we go.
Perfect. I just wanted that absolute clarification.
Yeah. Good to go.
Sweet. Cool.
All right. The next one was the Dowcaster's direction.
Yeah, so the Dowcasters PIP has passed. There's a funding thread, but we have not necessarily communicated set in stone with the Dowcasters what is required. Like they all read the PIP, but that doesn't necessarily mean everyone's on the same page. So I think we need to reach out to the 5 Dowcasters to clarify exactly what is required. And I don't know who's doing that.
Emperor, help me understand that, because someone did reach out to me earlier. One of the Alice Arcade folks did, and I said, "Well, the PIP is pretty self-explanatory of what you need to do. It lists a minimum expectations. So what do we need to explain to them more than them reading the PIP?"
Yeah, it's the requirements are in the thread as well, like
Right.
in the PIP disbursement thread. I put that. I like the part with what they're required to do. I put that in here again.
Yeah,
But we
exactly.
haven't heard from everyone yet. We're trying to figure out when we're going to do the Dowcasters brew. ODVB, if you're listening to this, we do need your reply in the thread. And
At this point, I guess it's more if they
I
have direct
think James
questions
also.
for us
Hmm?
versus
That-
anything else.
That's what is it to me. It's obvious that we haven't absolutely clarified with them. Yes, it's in the PIP. I agree, Lanzer. But that being said, have we reached out to the 5 Dowcasters? Like we have one here right now. Funecracker knows. I don't know if the other 3 absolutely know what is required. So
Oh,
I
I
haven't seen us
guess.
reach out and like make it, I don't want to say idiot proof because that's not the right
Yeah,
terminology,
I think
but
I know where you're going with
we
this.
haven't
We need to probably
done our due
declare like a start
diligence.
period, right? We need to say,
Exactly.
here is when you are elected. Now go do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And provide us the receipts.
So
know,
then
we
let's
have not
have.
clarified.
Yeah, no, I did. I did reach out individually to everyone and send them the requirements and the link to the disbursement thread.
You reached
I
out to each
know that we're
Dowcaster?
getting. Yeah, and now that we're getting closer to the actual date, maybe I'll just do a recall and tell them, hey, this is starting soon, so
Okay.
get ready to start reporting the content you're putting out.
How about we
yeah,
do? I'm so sorry, Winston. Go ahead. Keep going.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like I did actually reach out to them already individually, but I can do a recall. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, what I think might really just kind of close this is if Winston or Winston, you make an announcement in Discord that the reporting period for the first um, for Dowcasters is going to be on this date, and then
Yeah.
Morango, you repost that in the Dow Council X account when it gets unsuspended. so
And
that
it's
so
still
that
not.
that's like our line in the sand because Winston already reached out. Now we've declared here is when Dowcasters you need to be done with your first quarterly reporting. I think if we do that,
But
then that will do it.
how, well, how many videos or content do they have to have done in that
So
date?
it doesn't even have to be a video as per wording on the PIP. So it's 4 pieces of content per month. So a piece of content can be a video. It can be a post on like Instagram or TikTok. It can be a tweet. It can be, it depends what's their way of communicating. It can be a live stream. They just have to do something every week, basically, to prove that they're,
It's
communicating
from
around
April,
Starlight
right?
in the DAO.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's starting in April.
Yes.
Yeah, it says each
Okay.
Dowcaster will, and this is per PIP number 20. Each Dowcaster will, oops, I lost it. There, be elected for 3 months, produce at
Mm-hmm.
least one piece of original content per week, whether that be video, podcasts, a thread, stream, article, promotion, meme, co-host a monthly Dowcasters brew on Star Atlas Discord, collaborate with one other Dowcaster per month. That makes them eligible to receive 360,000 Atlas per month and have earmarked 360,000 Atlas as a promotional budget to support engagement. So that'd be like prize pools and stuff. So that's what they need to
Okay.
do each. Um, so by 1 month, they'll have produced 4 pieces of original content, which is 1 per week.
Mm-hmm.
So if Winston
Yeah.
reached out to them, then all we need to do is in the announcements in Discord declare when that 1 month period ends so that we can count the number of original content per week they've produced. Does anyone disagree with that or think we have a better route to take?
No, I
Yeah,
think
so,
it's a good approach.
no, that's good. So I guess our end date would be April 30th, but I would
I
like
just
it if
posted
they,
that it would be at
yeah,
the end of each month. At
yeah. And I would like it if they report the content they create as they do it, not everything at the end of the month. Like they need to,
so we have it in writing.
Yeah, Jith, you
yeah,
said you think it's April 30th. So that would be at the end of next month,
it's month 1.
right? That
Mhm.
would be month 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When all right,
The end,
maybe
the end date in the election PIP is wrong.
oh, I see. Because you said for 3 months starting from April 1st.
Which basically means May 30th is wrong. It's actually June 30th.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So their start date is really 15 days from now ish. Right? So 2 weeks from now is when they start.
Yes.
I mean, we could probably say they could start earlier just for the first one to get everything ready, but
Mhm.
that's part of why I wanted it to be that kind of delay.
Yeah. No, that makes real sense. I actually didn't realize that. I
Just
think
now
I
you
think
guys
you did
said
the right.
yeah.
I think you made the right move, Jith. That to make it the April 1st to May 30th, which is really June 30th
No,
now.
no, no. No, June 30th.
Yeah.
The May 30th was I forgot to clean up the end date when I pushed it to April.
Okay. So Winston, when you make the Discord announcement, then just reiterate that it's April 1st to June Well, no, it's not 30th, is it? It's going to be. Yep, it is June 30th. April 1st to June 30th. And our first judgment of their content will be April 30th.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Will judge content on April 30th. So who was part of the the judging council? It wasn't just us, was it?
It's just us.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
was it
It's
really?
just us.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Really?
then,
It's Funcracker's pip that's not just us.
gosh
Yeah.
darn it, Funcracker.
In the in the pub, in the pip is not just us. It's I think 3 people more.
Okay.
BB
No.
and someone else, if I'm not mistaken.
Not
Okay.
not in Dowcasters. It's just
You
us.
sure?
Okay. So then all we really need to do is Winston to make that Discord announcement that their term
Yeah.
will start April 1st and the first judgment of their content will be April 30th.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. So then I think
And
that's all we need to do.
Yeah, I do need to point out that Winston is one of the Dowcasters. If we're putting this on Winston, he has a conflict, and I'm okay with it, but it does need to be put out there. Are you okay being the lead on this, Winston?
I mean, yeah, because at the end of the day, you guys are also, judges of the if the requirement are filled or not for the rewards. So, yeah.
Right.
I
Okay,
agree.
I just wanted
Putting the announcement, but
yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, just like Lanzer is involved and Marengo, you're involved with Super Phoenix DAO. There's a conflict of interest, and that's okay. We're just putting it out there, and I'm just clarifying. So
Yeah, agreed.
should I somehow
Yeah,
include
just
that in the
probably one of
announcement?
the rest of us needs to check Winston's work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Winston
yeah.
should
Correct.
check everybody
Because
else's.
we're still gonna judge it all as a group, or
correct.
but the announcement doesn't really won't really affect that.
Right. I just wanted to make it known,
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
and I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it too.
Me too.
Good
Morango
deal.
as well. All
And
right.
Jip and Winston, so we're all good.
So SAC-3 will
Yes,
judge
we are.
content on April 30th. Winston will make a Discord announcement per PIP 30 term start date.
Perfect. I just
All right.
wanted to make sure we're communicating with the people, and it sounds like Winston is all over it. So
Yeah. Sounds like.
cool.
All right. Next one was Star Seekers needs to go to Foundation after verification from Council.
Yeah, so PG did update his PIP. He still included it as a Google Doc, and we asked him at our last meeting to update the header, like he started the PIP draft. He has not updated the actual draft in Discord, so he still needs to do that. And then last meeting, you had told him to ping you and Jith when he had it up. He tagged all of us, which is great. But that's why I put on my agenda item. You guys were going to review it. I guess technically we all need to review it, but he needs to actually change the text in his post on Discord with the
Yeah.
updated draft.
We had voted previously, didn't we, that we did not need to review this PIP again. We just needed him
Correct,
to
and
make
we're
the
not going to.
corrections. Yeah, so I saw what you were just talking about. So I went into the thread. I told him update the original thread with the Google Doc,
Mhm.
and then Jith will end up putting that together as a markdown PIP. So I just reiterated it in the thread to make him to do that.
Perfect.
All right.
So he needs to do that before we can move it to foundation.
All right, cool. I just made that note. All right,
Cool.
next
Um,
is
Oh,
the X
before
suspension.
we hold on, before we move on, did you, Lanzer and Jith, look at the Google Doc and make sure the stuff that we talked about last meeting was corrected?
The short answer is no. I did not
I have not
review.
looked at it.
Okay,
I've not looked at it.
we just need to do that. That's
Okay.
just a point of
All right,
clarification.
I'll take a look at it. Jith, you'll take a look at it. We'll both coalesce on it. All right.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to look at it anyways when I put it into the formats.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, we'll do
just
that.
a clarification.
Cool. All right, next one
Cool.
was no update on X suspension. So they're still
Nope.
considering it.
Correct. That's the
Damn.
update.
So Marengo got us suspended, right?
No, I did, technically.
You did. Right.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's no
Got it.
update, but I
X
wanted
is
the
still
people to know.
reviewing the account. Okay. Got it.
Correct.
And then next one is updating status of PIP on Discord, lock chats, creating voting chats.
Yep. So Funcracker responded in his PIP draft to my announcement to him that it was going up to vote. I corrected the PIP draft tag on a few items, but we do need to create so there's PIP ideas, PIP draft, and then PIP voting. So somebody needs to create the PIP voting chat like we've done with the rest. If you go on to Discord and look under PIP drafts under Funcracker's draft, you can
The
see what
relay
I'm
program?
talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
So I responded to him.
So we need
that
a relay
we-
program for voting.
Correct.
Okay, I see
I
that now.
changed. Yep, I changed the previous two pips to past or whatever the right verbiage is. But we do need to create the pip voting. And Winston did the last two. Are you fine doing these next two, Winston?
No problem. I already locked the one on draft and posted the new ones in voting.
Yeah, it looks like he
Cool.
did it. I'm looking through PIP 2930 and I see it in PIP voting, and Winston created them.
Perfect. I just wanted to.
Way to go, Winston.
Yeah, thank you.
It's on the ball. Okay. I'll make a note of that. Created PIP 29 and PIP 30 in PIP voting channels. Okay.
Perfect.
Next one was outstanding PIPs update. Right. I remember this one. This has
Yeah.
been a long time coming.
Before we do that, what were my next agenda items? I didn't put them
The
in
other ones you had
order.
was PIP Tracker Marengo, DOA updates, more frequent communication needed. You probably meant DAO updates.
Yeah, I probably
And then SAC-3
misspelled it.
to-do list, which is the one that we've been sleeping on for a little bit.
Yeah. I didn't put them in priority order. So
All right, let's do the PIP Tracker one then, because the outstanding PIP updates is going to require some thinking and talking.
Yeah.
All right. So PIP Tracker Marengo, how has that been? Have you experienced any difficulties? Do I need to meet with you on that?
Maybe when I get my computer back, it's going to be easier for me to do it, but it's no problem for me to
Okay.
to manage.
All right. So when you get your computer back, then go ahead and insert PIP 29 and 30, the ones that are about to go to
Okay.
vote, and then that'll be that. You'll be up to speed on it.
Yo.
and I I did want to check, Marengo. Are you fine with this role, with this position of doing that? Do you have
Yes,
time? Do you have bandwidth?
yeah, do I? Yes, I do. The thing is that we didn't have much going on the council, so I wasn't able to upload the information at speed, but I can keep it on track now.
Yeah, and that's okay. Like all of this is fine. I just want to make sure we're not delegating something to someone that is super buried or like getting married or going through a life crisis or whatever. I just wanted to make sure that you were okay with us delegating that to you.
None of those is me. I just need to get used to using it.
Nice.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. The next one
Because
was.
it's
Go ahead.
hold 1 second. It's easy for me and us to delegate things and tell people or suggest that they do it, but I just want to make sure people are able and willing and have the bandwidth to do it. So that's the only reason I put that agenda item on there. So
Okay, thank you.
yes,
Just get me
Lato,
my Twitter link.
lato plomo.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
That's
Come on, it's my job. It's the only thing I can do right.
All right. For the
Right
DAO
after I
updates,
paid for it, man. It's crazy. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry,
Emperor,
Laser.
for the DAO updates, you said more frequent communication needed. In what respect?
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to kind of chat with all of you to see, do we need to I feel like we need to have more of a presence, like more updates, more something for the community. I think we're doing a good job, but I wanted to chat with all of you to see if we needed to do more. So that's why I put that on there.
And when you say
I think
more, like the more of
Yeah.
telling the
Or
community
what?
what the DAO is doing.
yeah. Winston, you were saying something?
No, yeah, well, I was asking you, like, you think, okay, do more, like, is that regarding announcements or like just being more present in the chat? Like, what do you have in mind exactly?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just been kind of quiet. And all I can see is somebody saying, hey, we haven't heard anything from the DAO this week. And us having to justify or like say whatever, I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up. Do we feel like we need to be saying more things, being more proactive? And I don't have an answer to this agenda item. I'm just bringing it up to get everyone on the council's thoughts.
Yeah.
Do we as a council feel like we are representing the council and the DAO properly right now? That's the only thing. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't have an opinion either way. I just wanted to bring it up.
I
So
do.
my opinion on this, it would be that regarding announcements, I think it's the right amount right now because if we just ping every day, people will just stop reading it because it gets thrown out. I
Right.
guess where we can improve would be making like more minor announcements and recap in the chat, like maybe try to be more present there.
Okay.
Right.
I think
And
I
I don't want to
see
put
what you're talking about, Emperor, when I do the weekly DAO reports, there's a
right.
certain like monotony that exists with our DAO reporting where we on the weekly give them like this like monotonous, here's what we talked about and here's the video. There's not like active presence, active engagement stuff. I think that's
Right.
where you're talking about. Could we be more active?
Right. Or do we need to be more active?
Well, I probably lean on the rest of you to gauge this. For me, the market's been down across the board. So activity has been down across the board. Is there any sort of um is there any sort of activity or participation that we can involve with the community that we wouldn't be able to with the current level of market. You get what I'm saying? Like the market's not really up, so a lot of people aren't paying attention.
Right.
I think we can't make miracles here. Like, yeah, as you said, it's
There's
not
also the
just the
fact that
DAO.
we've had PIPs basically lined up for more or
Yeah.
less constant voting, so there hasn't been as much need for us to really be active as the council for the past while.
Yeah. So is there
Yeah.
anything else
Maybe
that
what
we should or could be doing? I think it's the Emperor's point.
I think we can leverage this upcoming DAO caster thing to try and generate more
Actually,
put
at
more
this point,
eyeballs
um,
on what we're doing. But yeah,
after PG's PIP, we're going to be probably wanting to go over everything that's backlogged.
Jith, do you realize that when you talk, you and Winston are talking over each other?
Oh, sorry.
I was just wondering if you heard that.
Somebody's lagging behind. I think
Yeah.
it's Jith, but
All
not
right,
a big deal.
Jith,
But
should just go ahead and say what you were gonna say, and then Winston.
So at the beginning of the term, we basically did that so we could actually go through and clear out all those backlog PIPs. After these PIP is done, we should probably be doing that.
Got it. Okay. And Winston, what were you gonna say?
yeah, no, regarding the trying to gather more attention and more people paying attention to what the DAO is doing. Probably try and push more with the DAO casters. Try to promote, like maybe convince each one of them to do a video focusing more on what the DAO has been doing and what you can do with the DAO. Like kind of pre-package the content, like basically send them little articles or cheat sheet, with like everything that the DAO currently has. Like we have the Responti, we have the arena, we have things like that. I think it would be nice if they promoted more of what's possible right now in their content. That's something we can do right now that could maybe bring a few more people to check out, what the DAO is doing.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably a pretty good idea, for sure.
It's
Marengo, what do you
basically
think?
the one idea. It's basically the one idea we can actually put into use because there's no much to say. It's really quiet all together. So I think if we have the chance to have the people posting and making content and stuff like that, we're going to have stuff to say. We're going to have more information flowing, and we can use that in our advantage as the council.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
And again, I don't think we should expect, miracles here because, yeah, it's not just the DAO. It's just there's not much interest in, Web3 gaming stuff, Star Atlas, and
Yep.
the DAO is a subset of Star Atlas. So of course, it's gonna be less people than we already get in the regular game. So it's gonna be like that for now until the game starts growing its user base again.
Got it.
yeah, and I agree with everything that has been said. I just am trying to prepare the council for when, not if, but when somebody complains, for lack of better word, that they haven't heard from the DAO. And so I'm just trying to head off a problem before it's an actual problem. And that's the only
Yeah.
reason I put it on there.
Yeah, and I
Nice
think
catch. Yeah.
where they might say that is that we're not actively involved in like DAO chat. Whereas if they look at DAO reports, they'll see me posting every week. If they look at DAO announcements, they'll see Winston constantly reporting on announcements for the DAO Council. And when our X account gets unsuspended, Marengo has been constantly posting on that account. So it's more like, I guess, active presence in the DAO chat, like we're here, we're talking, we're participating.
Right. Yeah, we're doing things, and I think we all agree with that. But that was the only reason I put it on there. So
Okay. For our to-do list, I haven't looked at this in quite a while, so I think it's a good reminder. Our to-do
yeah,
list was
didn't know.
change passwords, which we did. That one's done.
Mhm.
Then there was change multi-sig owners. Have we completely finished that?
I think there's one last batch of transaction to do on one of the multisigs, but yeah, it's like 99%
Is there really,
done.
Winston? We're not done yet?
I think there's one more person to remove,
Oh my
but we all have
gosh.
access to all the wallets.
All right. So pip assignments, DAO casters, and DAO arena. I think we have completed that. Feast re-up emperor. What was that?
So the Iris Bounty Feast for the in-person meetups. I didn't know if we wanted to re-up on that. That would take another pip.
Oh, because we haven't done that yet. It exhausted. We haven't re-upped it.
Correct. So that's what that is.
Huh. All right. DAO chat gating. Where do we end on that?
I think we agreed to open it now.
We did.
Has it been opened?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
PG's pip. That one we talk about all the time. Thumbs up threshold. We changed that. That's done. Pip payment process. Discord. What was that?
I think that's what we just went over with the threshold.
Okay. All right. Next one was pip number lock in time. Oh, we decided it would lock in at foundation approval.
Yeah,
Right.
USD value.
Okay. That one's done. Multi-sig
And-
for Artie and Arena. That was just like the $7
okay,
thing.
That's done. We have
Yeah.
this wallet.
Change meeting times on Gmail. Wasn't that like some of the times might be really bad for European, so we might change the times later on.
I think we figured that out.
Okay. And then refresh a
And-
pip 1. I have not gotten to that. I'm not sure I will, but I will try my hardest.
And
There's
to
some
interrupt real quick, I just posted the code for tonight. It's pips galore. It's in the chat.
oh my gosh, I better do that now before I forget. Every time I forget to do this
Right?
for us personally, I'm like, we never think to do that because we're in it. So Sola, Quintbot, Claim Cold, hit pips galore.
Mm-hmm.
And yep, there it is. All right. All right, so the ones we have not done yet is change multi-sig owners. It sounds like there's still one left. Feast re-up. We need a new pip for that. The DAO chat gating, we need to remove the gate where you need, is it 1 polis in order to, you have to interact with a bot. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
And then refresh a pip 1, which there are still a number of holes in pip 1, which I want to address, but I don't know. Jith, I'll probably have to get with you on that to work the details, because there's just a number of efficiencies I think that we can improve the DAO on. Just haven't gotten around to it yet.
I can look at that.
Yeah, so there's a number of things we have done on this list.
Right.
There's a few left.
I just wanted to go over it and
Yeah.
cross some things off. So
Well, I'm glad we went over it again. I haven't thought about that in quite a while. All right, so we crossed off, let's say, we crossed off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of the 12 have been crossed off.
perfect.
Okay. All right. And last but not least, my favorite topic, outstanding pips.
Yeah, this is something that's not necessarily the easiest or funnest thing to talk about. We do, in my understanding, anyone can correct me if I'm wrong, with all this chatter about USDC versus Atlas. So the Theo integration, when they applied, it was like 10K worth of Atlas. And when Skull and Bones with their Rogue Marketplace uh, tip. Those two payments, there's like Skull and Bones has outstanding payments. They were supposed to, and maybe Lancer, you can pull it up, but in their PIP, they were going to apply for reimbursement um, at certain intervals. I thought it was, I can't remember because I don't have it pulled up, but um, they're still owed money, and
Skull and Bones.
Theo is owed money. Yeah, I can't remember the exact name. Sorry. Um, I can't remember who made the PIP, but both
Rogue
of
Data Hub
those
was PIP
PIPs are
21.
RDH. Yeah, so both of them are still owed a certain amount in USDC.
And this is where we would look back on our PIP tracker where Jith applied, we combined it with Carlos's PIP accounting. So if we look back in the PIP tracker, then on the right hand side, we should see some of those Atlas amounts that have been paid. And that was part of our accountability as a DAO council for how much have we paid, how much do we need to pay.
Right.
So Jith,
And
what's your, it looks like some of the rows are a little blank. What's your thoughts on how we're integrating those two? I remember you saying we did as much as we could, right?
Yeah, I think everything that's blank didn't have anything.
but so before we dive too deep into that, Lancer, would you mind pulling up RDH's PIP?
Sure. Yeah, here it is.
And I'm still not streaming, but they applied for X amount in USDC,
8,820 USDC.
right? And we paid them one payment so far. That's in the PIP disbursement
Yeah, and
channel
that'd be
that we have
here.
access to.
Where's RDH? So RDH is here, row 22. So if we look at row 22, it's currently blank. Jith, when you went through this, did you see a payment for RDH already?
Yes, there was. I'm trying to.
Okay. Then maybe we just need to figure out how to update that because it looks like that maybe there was either
It
an
wasn't.
error.
That wasn't in Carlos's.
Ah, okay. So then we probably just need to make this pip tracker the source of truth for all of it. And what we need to probably do is link the transaction, like as a note here, just link the transactions for all the payments. That way we can total it. You get what I'm saying? Like it would become a formula at that point. It would be equals whatever the first payment is, whatever the second payment is, and in the note it would be both payments. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If not,
And
you and I could probably
I
talk about it.
think, yeah, and I think regardless of whatever our PIP tracker says, RDH is expecting to be made whole in USDC. That's what the PIP says. This was some of the chatter that I was referencing in our back channel stuff. So
I agree.
RDH is expecting USDC equivalent, but here we are with Atlas being where it's at. So we're going to come to a head. We're going to come to a point where they're expecting to be made whole. And at the time when they were approved, we were going off the assumption of USDC. And so the DAO is going to be responsible for the volatility. So I'm trying to head this thing off before it becomes a problem. If that makes sense.
As far as I'm aware, the only way to head that off is our current decision that we're paying an Atlas. So the DAO would absorb that volatility.
Correct.
Okay.
That's not the popular opinion on the back end.
Got it.
Going forward, we've solved this.
Where it's only an Atlas.
Right. We can only pay in Atlas because that's all we have.
It's kind of prophetic, huh? Exactly how. Yep. All right. So that aside, all of the old stuff where it's cited USDC, we're still going to eat that volatility unless, right? Yeah.
Well, Theo, it's long past the date where they were supposed to have the finished product, and there is no sign of Theo even existing anymore.
Yeah, because it returns a 404 when you go to the website.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
and I haven't seen any response from the PIP author at all.
Yeah, in my opinion, they haven't followed through with their part of the PIP, so we aren't obligated to pay anymore. So
I
really,
agree.
all it comes down to is RDH.
So then when we meet next, probably we just need to talk about the outstanding pips and just go through one by one. Have they met their obligations? If so, are we paying them in USDC or are we paying them in Atlas per what the pip describes?
Right. And we don't even
Okay.
need to go, in my opinion, one by one. The only ones outstanding, in my opinion, if I'm remembering correctly, are Theo and RDH.
Okay. That's where you and I would just differ, and I would go through the whole thing, but I agree that you and I'm good. If you think the only two left is Theo and RDH, sure.
Yeah, and we do have time right now. We have 7 minutes left. We could go through the pip tracker or whatever, to verify that those are the only two, and then we can circle back next week.
Okay.
It's not terribly difficult.
I'm pretty sure everything outside of what's just being voted on, I'm pretty sure everything else has been wrapped up. Artie's has been wrapped up.
I think we already took a look at this. These were the only two, but we're still building something.
That's what I think too.
I probably agree with you all. The only thing that hangs me up is when we look at the accounting of what it is that we say we're supposed to owe, there are a lot of blanks and or non-zeros. So if we our own records say that, that's where I get hung up with why don't our own records agree with that?
Right. It's pretty easy to go through, in my opinion, pretty quick. So
Yeah, I agree with you.
Even if like right now we started at PIP 4 or 5 and just scrolled through the list real quick.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not speaking for the group. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
If
I
we could
agree
do
with
that
you.
real quick.
Whichever. I just want the records to agree so there is no dispute that we can successfully
100%.
defend our record of this is how much the PIP says we should pay and this is how much we have paid.
Right. Can we go through that real quick?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it now.
Okay. All right. So what I'm showing is the PIP tracker. Here is PIP number 4.
To interrupt real quick, why
Sure.
don't if you don't mind going to the actual website and
This
going
one?
through those pips.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm still not streaming. I'm sorry.
Sure. I'm showing it right now.
Okay.
So
So
here
on the
is
official DAO website, if we start with like 4 or 5 or
here's
whatever,
number 5. It allocated 6 million Atlas, and we paid that for PIP 5, the co-sponsoring of Nawathon.
Yep, that's paid.
All right, that's paid. The only problem I have with this is we don't have the transaction number here. We just say, yeah, we paid it. That's it. So
Okay.
I have no
So
way to really
maybe
show what that is, what that payment
okay.
was.
So we need to verify that one. But can we somehow mark maybe
Yeah,
on the
we can
pip
mark it.
tracker?
Yeah, we can mark it. Just is there?
Perfect.
Those should be pretty readily reviewable in the DAO Treasury or the DAO Ecosystem Fund transaction list, right?
Yeah, we could find that.
I would assume.
Okay, so
I don't
that's
know,
what I would
like,
look
Uh-huh.
at.
as far as the stuff that's that far back, I'm not sure. Because remember, that was before the council was
Right.
even a thing.
True. Yeah, that's totally fair. I'm talking about
Yeah.
like the only thing that hangs me up is that when we say we pay something, what is the actual evidence that anybody who looks at this can look at this and say, yeah, that's exactly what happened? Because the blockchain should
Yep.
be fully transparent. So when we get to
Yep.
that point
And
where
I would agree.
yeah,
Yeah, we
that's
need
my
to add
hang up.
fields for, we don't have
Yep.
fields for those transactions. I do think the transactions were verified in what Carlos had.
Okay,
Yeah.
then we just
So
need to see if there
let's
was a
just mark
transaction
it.
link. Yeah.
Yep. Let's just
So I'll put
mark
some
them
question marks there.
as we go here.
So there's the first one. The second one was
Okay.
in PIP 6. That was a council election, so it's a 0 PIP, 0 Atlas amount. PIP 7 was another second round election, 0 Atlas amount. PIP 8
Okay.
was Star Atlas comment, which looks like it was
Comment.
some sort of amount.
We need to verify.
$7,000 in euros.
Yep.
This was PIP 8. So what does our PIP tracker say? PIP 8 says that amount, we've paid it. So there again, we probably just need to put what was the actual transaction where we
We need
paid
to
it.
verify.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, the next one was, so that's after PIP 8. This takes a little while to load on the website. 7, 8. The next one was adjust STV. That was a 0 amount. Star Atlas SAC-2, 0 amount. SAC-2 again for PIP 11, 0 amount. Iris Bounty, that one was $10,000. So for PIP 12, we should see an amount, and we do.
Was that Feast?
Yes. Yes, it was. So that
Okay.
was funded up front, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So there
It was
again, we'll
10K,
need some sort
but
of transaction link.
and we have all of that.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I'm
not
sure we
on
do.
the
I have no doubt we do.
not on the sheet, but yep.
All right. The next one was implementing term limits. That was a 0 amount. Deepening Theo integration was 10,000 USDC. So for PIP 14, we should see, and we do, an amount there. We just need another transaction amount.
And there hasn't been one. We paid up front. We paid him like 5K. And that's all somewhere.
It's showing right now
But
that we
he has
have
not
0 left. So we must have paid him the entire amount.
No, that's Raiden Systems.
No.
that you're on.
Oh, you're totally right. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're right. All right. Let me I need to format this.
You can always count on Jith to call us out.
Yep. And that's no problem.
That's perfect.
There we go. Okay. So I need to format it as a currency without the dollar threshold. Darn it. always wants to do that. How about financial? There we go. All right. So for PIP 14, it's 4.4 million Atlas. And we have 25 million Atlas left? That doesn't seem right.
Which one is that?
Actually, it does, because I mean, that was also when Atlas was a bit lower,
Okay.
but Atlas has dropped that much.
But even if it dropped that much, wouldn't the amount of Atlas that we owed still be relative to the 4 million that was originally pipped?
Nope.
How could that be?
I'm assuming that we actually owe the USDC amount, because there isn't anything, I think, in those pips that says other.
Oh, I see. Because it was
Correct.
10,000 Atlas.
Yep.
I'm sorry, 10,000 USDC. So then we should have
Correct.
put that
Is that
amount. At the time, it was 4.4 million Atlas.
Mhm.
Got it. That's
That
a
was-
tricky situation.
Exactly.
Yes, it is.
Because all those numbers in the Atlas amount paid reflect any volatility.
Correct.
Okay. So then let's make
Between-
this the topic of our next conversation, because I'm gonna have to bug out here pretty soon.
That's,
Yep,
I mean, we're
that's
going,
fine.
honestly, I think we need to break that down.
Okay. All
We
right.
need to
So,
break that down into more field.
all right. We'll make
Is
that the
that the
topic then of
Theo?
next week. Yeah, Theo.
Okay.
That's right. PIP 14. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the one that he has not followed through on his part. So,
Got it.
do you need to go?
I do need to go be a dad. Yes.
Okay. We can pick this up next time.
Yeah. Let's make that first thing, and that might be the whole conversation.
It may be.
Cool.
Cool.
So that, DAO
Okay.
casters, and probably PG. I don't think there's anything else.
And
Thank
we
y'all
can
for your
send
time.
PGs as soon as he corrects those things.
Yeah.
from the last meeting. So cool.
So we'll see y'all next week. Thank you for your
See
time.
you next week. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you for coming, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.